Yeah, don't ask me how I became a flat earther. Basically, like the most non-flat place on Earth. But even though the clues are all around us, I got a frozen lake there, like glass, acting like a mirror. I mean, but what can I say? I wasn't smart enough to figure it out on my own. Someone had to show me. I was in it, man. I was in it. I believed it. I was on a ball. We were spinning. We were flying. Ever expanding space. At the same time, it was the lie that brought me here. Because I was into it. I was into it. I wanted to learn everything about it. Aliens. I mean, of course there was aliens. We're on a spinning ball through space, ever expanding, infinite possibilities, infinite room, infinite everything. Of course there was going to be another us, another life form. Of course there was. But for me, there was always this question. There was always this. I knew something was being hidden from us. I did not think it was this. But I thought they were either hiding the fact that there was life out there, or they were hiding some space technology, secret technology. Who knows? Colonies. I was all open to everything. I just knew something was up. There was too many inconsistencies with the moon landings and the information that we'd always get. So a couple years ago, it was in late 2015, where anything was possible in my mind. Anything was possible. We could have been, it was everything. The new age stuff, the aliens, the secret stuff. I believed that all these things were something. One of these things were happening, so I was always digging. But the flat Earth, I mean, come on, right? No, we're space balls. And then I was, I was always giving props to people online, friends, who'd be sharing things that I was looking into, like that. I'd always give them props for anyone who's being open. I'd send them a private message and say, hey man, right on, good for you. This stuff's really, it's hard to do. It's hard to put yourself out there like this and try to open people's minds. And then one day, my friend Rudy, old friend of mine, guy I played hockey with growing up, high school, hadn't talked to him for, at this point, 15 years sort of thing. But I seen that he was posting all this sorts of stuff and about flat Earth. I never looked at it, but I sent him a message and said, hey, Rudy, right on. Good for you, man. I'm not a flat earther. I'm not into this, but, it's along those same lines of truth seeking. I said, good for you sharing this stuff. It's brave. It's brave to do this. Little did I know how brave it really was back, especially 2 years ago almost now. Well, Rudy sent me a message back and saying, hey, Adam, you gotta check this out, man. You gotta check this out. You look, Eric Dubé. That's right. Dubé got me, man. That was his voice, his calm, soothing voice. It's 200 proofs. I don't think it was just 200 proofs. It was just another video. It's like 20 proofs or something like that. Check this out, Adam. I was like, okay, sure. I'm into stuff. I better hadn't looked at a single thing of this flat earth stuff. I just looked over all this stuff. Never even give it a chance. I mean, we're on a ball. We know this, right? They're hiding something, but not that. So I looked into it. It was just recently that I went back and looked at this conversation because it was Rudy's birthday recently anyway. I'll get to that. So I said, I said, sure, man. Yeah, I'll look at it. Right on, thanks. He sent me a link. Anyway, the next message I sent to him, couple weeks later, and I was like, wow, man, I watched that video. It was really interesting. It really was starting to connect some dots with me. Really amazing. I didn't think I didn't think I was going to watch 10 minutes of it, but I couldn't stop watching it, and it really connected a lot of dots. Thanks, man. I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna look further into this. No reply back. Next message, I have another. A couple weeks later, I sent him another message, and I go, "Whoa, Rudy, what did you do to me, man? The world is flat." Within those couple weeks, I had my epiphany. I had my standing outside, looking at the moon, shaking my head, going, "Are you serious? Is this stuff for real?" Well, I wrote Rudy that message, saying, "Man, get back to me. Like, don't leave me hanging here, bro. Like, you did this. You did this to me. Let's talk. Let's talk." Still no messages. I never get any replies back from him. I was really needing some confirmation here. I needed, is this guy bullshit? What's going on? Anyway, I kind of go back to his page, do some digging, and oh my goodness, Rudy had died. Rudy had died 3 or 4 days within a week of that first conversation that we had when he sent me that link. I don't think he ever seen my reply back to him. But he had died. He was another casualty, which is going on out here in Vancouver. He was another casualty of an OD. I don't know what he was into. I don't know what happened. But Rudy died of an overdose. But before he did, and who knows, I was probably, because as I know, this is 2 years ago, as I talk to people, I've gotten some people on to Flat Earth, but man, the stats are against us for turning people. I mean, we all know that, right? How many people have we all told, and how many people have actually really looked into it? Not many. So 2 years ago, did Rudy turn anyone else? I don't think so. But he got me. And unfortunately, Rudy obviously had, like I said, I hadn't seen him for 15 years. I don't know what he was getting up to. I'm not sure what he was into, but he obviously had some issues. But at the same time, whatever drugs Rudy was playing with, were there reasons for him to even see this on his own? Was he shown? We all know drugs are mind-altering, mind-opening, can be experiences, and a certain type of person ends up using. Nevertheless, a lot of people argue. Don't mention this necessarily too much because obviously the argument is there. Well, he had some problems and he was on drugs, so no wonder he thought the Earth was flat. But we all know sometimes it just it takes a certain mind to be able to. It's not necessarily letting things in. Lots of people take the information in. It's a matter of letting certain things go and being able to process that stuff as it comes in. It just takes a second. You just got to let certain things go. You let that ball go for 5 minutes while looking at something else, and that's enough to take it a spark. But nevertheless, that's how it came about for me. Rudy. Maybe one of the last things he did. So I do have that in the back of my head as a bit of an obligation for my lost friend there. Stick with it, tell people. Just like he did to me. 2 years ago now, after that point, I spent every waking day, every moment that I could, researching this stuff, taking every single point, researching it individually, right? Taking the pictures from space, the NASA, the curvature, the sun, the moon, weather patterns, flight paths, lack of curvature, water finding its level, all these things. I took every point and researched it and couldn't prove it wrong, which is what we've all done. We all tried to prove it wrong, couldn't prove it wrong. Flat earther. Bam, like that. A couple years in now, and holy cow, the changes, the confirmations that I've had in these last couple of years, being able to watch the progression of it really are confirmations for me with the responses we're getting from NASA, the direct answers I would have to say that we're getting from them. You know, now we're going to the moon, we're going to Mars. That'll be nice. That'll be good to watch. It's gonna be a good show. Just the other day, what was it? The U.S. government there announced that they've been investigating UFOs since 2004 to 2012, and now they're gonna put some more money in the budget to keep those investigations going. Man, I would have been into that a couple of years ago. We're like, see, they're looking. They're real. Just reassuring the space story. I mean, we know that now that these things are just it's getting out of hand for them. So they got to really try to reel some people back. We're going back to the moon. Aliens are real. Draw all these people in, right? Draw everyone back in. I see that as a win. I see those as a win for us. So I haven't stopped. It's been a crazy couple years. And, you know, and my big thing is here now is everyone's got to do this. I think everyone's got to make a dumb video. Everyone's got to talk about their experiences. I say this on every video, but I think it's the only way. In numbers, we just have to do this. And we can't stick to anything. So that's how I got into Flat Earth. And at the same time, my progression, it's been different. There has been times where I've stuck to things. You know, maybe from the start, if I would have told someone, I'd be like, well, yeah, man, we're in a ball. Like, we're in this dome. There's stars, you know, there's an ice wall. And, you know, this is the map. And so, but at the same time, when I became a Flat Earther, the biggest thing I learned was we don't know. We don't know. I can't stick to anything. I used to think this, I used to think that, and now it's like not. My reality has completely changed. So how can I stick to another thing? So I don't debate. I don't stick with a model. You can't. I research them all. I want to learn everything I know about them all, but I can't stick with it. I would never tell anyone this is it, that is that. No, we don't know. The only thing I know is that we've been lied to. On a grandiose scale. Lied to about everything. That's what I'm pretty sure of. That's what I'm most sure of. That's all we can be sure of. Is that we've been lied to. Our reality is not what we thought. And we have to look into it. And as I kind of always say, the truth will come out in the wash. It will. Once we get past certain things and we can start looking at other things, then the truth can come out. Then we can start looking at being scientists again, being explorers again. But I'm not going to stick with anything. I'm not going to debate anything. It's pointless. It's just a matter of getting the idea out. Now, I don't hide it. I don't hide that I'm a Flat Earther. I do not hide it. It took a long time. It took over a year and a bit before I actually said something to someone. And then now, I don't go around because, you know, we all gotta live. I try to unplug. I try to plug in. Every day, right now, I'm working. I'm waiting for someone. I'm gonna have 15, 20 minutes here. Because I'm a Flat Earther now, man, this is all I think about, right? So when I get 15 minutes to myself, this is what I think about. But at the end of the day, I gotta plug back into the system. For most of the day, for most of every day. So I don't seem fucking crazy. But at the same time, if someone comes up to me and goes, hey, did you hear about government's gonna look into UFOs or this or that, we're going to Mars. I say, well, I don't think we are. There's more, you know, check out Flat Earth, bro. We're not going to Mars. Look for yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's the only way. It's just the only way. You have to come to this yourself. And there's no sense if someone has a block. Don't even bother. They got the block. And there's nothing you can do. There isn't. There's too much There's too much reassurance out there for people to feel comfort in their decision being right. Not only does 99.9% of the world, maybe it's, might only be 99 right now. There might be a 1% even that believe in flat Earth now. Maybe not that much, but there might be, maybe 2 even. There's too much to fall back on. You can just open a book and see a picture and listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about things, and there's too much to fall back on. It's too easy to be a ball earther right now. You don't have to listen to some crazy nut bar. So don't be a crazy nut bar. Put it out there. Let people know. Don't get too crazy. Although flat smacking goes a long way. It does. It really does. I'd rather flat smack with strangers, this and that, than sometimes in your own personal life, in your own personal bubble. Right now, it's a lot for people to handle, and we do have to survive. I do have to live a normal life. I got kids. We do have to pretend to plug back in, but man, I can't plug back in. Not when you see it. Not when you see this trick. So, my overall view on things is that we don't know. But we have to find out. We have to continue. We have to keep this movement going. And numbers is the only way. I think we got to stick together. I think we got to share ideas. I think we have to support each other in anything we do concerning this. And just keep moving forward. Not stop. I mean, the thing is... unfortunately, just like the ball, they got the power in numbers, and we just have to stick together. Make a video. Tell me why you're a flat earther. Tell me your reasons for being a flat earther. Tell the world, show everyone that there's... Honestly, the flat earth community is... we get slagged all the time. Obviously, a bunch of dummies, right around think the earth is flat. But I've never seen a more, and being online in different communities through different times, I haven't seen a more aware, intellectual, critical thinking, just common sense driven group of people, man. We're not falling for things. We're looking at everything and making our own assumptions, judgments, and coming to our own conclusions. At the same time, we know there's such an amazing group of people. And as I've heard before, I like to say this is a leaderless movement. At the end of the day, we're all in this individually, but we can still stick together. But there is no leaders. We've learned from that. Where does that take us? You know where that takes us. It takes us down the same old road, right? We're not following anyone. It's an individual thing with our arms locked. And, the bigger this chain gets, the more random people are going to listen to us. But we have to show that we are numbers and that we are an amazing group of people. So, get out there, be your own activists in your own way, as best you can. Spread the word and make a video, please. Make a video, How'd you figure this stuff out? Who got you there? Rudy? Is anyone else there? Did Rudy tell anyone else there back in 2015? Let's keep this going. It's not going to stop. Let's keep being a part of it. Well, I got to go plug back into the system, run around and do some things, pretend like the world's round here for the next couple hours, and then head home. Okay, guys, keep it flat. Till next time.